Hello everyone. Well, Tesla is way ahead of the curve when it comes to self-driving cars. But someday all cars will have to be able to drive themselves because it's safer, easier, and more fun. To make this happen, it is now widely known that learning directly from videos is the best way to train these models. It's amazing how we used to train AIs by labeling pictures with words like, this is a car, this is a sign, and this is a road. Now we just put video into the car and let it figure it out on its own. And this technology is very similar to amazing the ability to make videos that make sense that are conditioned by human prompt that needs to learn from video. So the next generation of AIs needs to be grounded in physical AI needs to understand the physical world. And the best way to teach these AIs how the physical world works is by watching tons and tons of video. You also heard Elon talk about the amazing infrastructure he's building. One of the most innovative things about Tesla's full self-driving version 12 is that it's an end-to-end generative model that learns from watching video surround video and how to drive end-to-end and predict the next move using generative AI, the path and the how to understand and how to steer the car. So the technology is really cutting edge, and the job they're doing is amazing. Here are two examples. A startup company we work with called Recursion has built a supercomputer for making molecules, understanding proteins, and making molecules for drug discovery. The list goes on, and people from all sorts of fields are now realizing that we now have software and AI models that can understand and learn almost any language, including English, but also images, videos, chemicals, proteins, and even physics, and can make almost anything. It's kind of like machine translation. And this ability is now being used on a large scale in so many different industries. Seeking Alpha has everything you need to know about Tesla. Tesla's stock price goals, Tesla's new ideas, and everything Elon Musk. If you click on one of the affiliate links in the description and then buy something, our channel may get a fee. Autonomous vehicles are like robots. One day, everything that moves will be fully or mostly autonomous. By 2014, most new EVs will have a lot of AV potential. Someone who loves cars, builds cars, makes self-driving cars, and thinks about the future of cars has broken every rule in the book when it comes to building cars and still managed to make an amazing company is hard to imagine. I still remember the first car I bought from Elon. My only question to him was, are you going to be around to service this car if something happens to it? He told me no, and look what happened. I now have all three of his models, and each one is better than the last. Not only does it get better and better, each version gets better and better. It just delights me to no end when I get an OTA in the morning, and I read it. Oh wow, all these features, I didn't even pay for it. I'm not suggesting that I'm willing to pay more for it now as we get more computerized technology into these cars. And this car becomes really a software-defined car. I mean, a lot of your engineers are software engineers. One of the great things about Tesla, you guys right here in Silicon Valley, you're rich with software engineers. And you've that computer sensibility about architecting a computer, properly designing the software for many generations of cars. So it refines and gets better and better, and it has been getting better. I mean, the software from the first time you sent me my Tesla to the now, it's just like unrecognizable software. Well, the future of cars is so exciting, and the work that you guys are doing are so exciting, and it's great to see you guys pioneering these computerized cars. I mean, a lot of people think about Tesla as the electric car. But I think is obviously more than that. It's an electric car, but it's a whole computer platform on top of that. I mean, there's so much deep learning work being done here. You have a lot of engineers here as well, and it's fantastic to see that the whole community focused on advancing this field, and along the way we're going to spin off a whole bunch of new capabilities. As you know, that's going to make cars just safer and more fun to drive on long before we have to get to essentially a self-driving car. There's going to be a lot of versions along the way. That's just going to bring joy to a lot of people. That's so awesome, though. I'm interested. I get excited every time I get an OTA. And it's, one of the things that was really interesting is in the beginning, when we first built the first Tesla together, the Tegra in it, we thought was more than enough. And recently you said, we just squeeze more performance out of that platform. And it just happened in literally 2 years, several versions of your software updates all of a sudden the computing platform is not powerful enough. And it's because you want to add more features, and a lot of features these days are based on software. A first of all acknowledgement of achievement, where is deserved from the moment of concept to a data center that's ready for NVIDIA to have our gear there to the moment that we up-powered it on, had it all hooked up. And it did its first training, so that first part just building a massive factory liquid cooled up, energized, permitted in the short time that was done. I mean, that is like super right? Yeah, there's. And as far as I know, there's only one person in the world who could do that, I mean, Elon is singular in this understanding of engineering and in construction and large systems and in marshalling resources. Yeah, just it's unbelievable. And of course, then his engineering team is extraordinary. I mean that the software team is great, the networking team is great, the infrastructure team is great. Elon understands this deeply, and from the moment that we decided to get to go on the planning of with our engineering team, our networking team, or our infrastructure computing team, the software team, all of the preparation, advance then all of the infrastructure, all of the logistics, and the amount of technology and equipment that came in on that day, NVIDIA's infrastructure and in computing infrastructure, and all that technology, training 19 days. Some 19 days is incredible. But it's also kind of nice to just take a step back and just how many days, 19 days. This is a couple weeks, and the mountain of technology, if you were to see it, is unbelievable. All of the wiring and the networking. And networking NVIDIA is very different than networking hyperscale data centers. Okay, the number of wires that goes in one node, the back of a computer, is all wires, and just getting this mountain of technology integrated, and all the software incredible, yeah. So I think what Elon and the X team did, and I am really appreciative that he acknowledges that the engineering work that we did with him, and the planning work, and all that stuff, But what they achieved is singular, never been done before. Just to put in perspective, 100,000 puss. That's easily the fastest supercomputer on the planet, as one cluster a supercomputer that you would build would take normally 3 years to plan, and then they deliver the equipment, and it takes 1 year to get it all working. We're talking about 19 days. Everything's already working, and of course, there's a whole bunch of X algorithms and framework and X stack and things like that. And we got a ton of integration we have to do. The planning of it was extraordinary, just pre-planning of it to But do you know who else shares in Tesla optimism? That would be today's sponsor, Seeking Alpha. If you want to read news about Tesla, Seeking Alpha is the best site for you. To get the most up-to-date price targets for Tesla's offerings, click the affiliate link in the summary below. New ideas and everything Elon Musk. There is a link in the description to a very good deal. I think that distributed training will have to work and that distributed computing will be invented. Some kind of federated learning and distributed, asynchronous distributed computing is going to be discovered, and I'm very excited and hopeful about that. The thing to keep in mind is that the scaling law used to be about pre-training. Now we've gone to multimodality and synthetic data generation. Post-training has now scaled up incredibly, with reward systems based on reinforcement learning. And now inference scaling has gone through the roof. The idea that a model has probably done internal inference 10,000 times before it answers your questions, probably not unreasonable, and it's probably done research and reinforcement learning on that.